I showed the alien queen a childhood photo. No way is that you, she said. Luke Carter stood near the wide window of the diplomatic station and looked out into space. The stars outside did not look like the stars he remembered from Earth. They were brighter here, sharper, and arranged in strange patterns that felt almost familiar. He did not know why that feeling stayed with him. He had felt it since the first day he arrived in this alien empire. Luke was a human engineer, sent as part of a small human delegation. His job was simple. He checked systems, fixed problems, and stayed quiet. He was not a soldier or a diplomat. He did not expect anyone important to notice him. Yet the station itself felt strange to him. The halls curved in soft lines instead of straight paths. The walls glowed with calm colors that shifted slowly. Many humans said the place felt uncomfortable. Luke felt the opposite. He felt calm, as if his body remembered this place even when his mind did not. He shook his head and tried to focus. He told himself he was just tired. Behind him a voice spoke. "Luke, the meeting will start soon." He turned and saw Maya Brooks, another human from the delegation. She worked in communication and always seemed alert. Her dark hair was tied back, and she held a small data pad. "Thanks," he said. "I will be there." Maya studied him for a moment. "You look nervous. Are you okay?" Luke gave a small smile. "Yeah, just thinking too much." She nodded but did not look convinced. "Well, try not to stand out. The alien court is watching everything today, especially with the Queen present." The Queen. The word alone made Luke's chest feel tight. Queen Alara ruled the empire they were visiting. She was known across the galaxy as calm, powerful, and distant. Humans had only seen her in recordings. No one expected her to attend this early meeting. Luke nodded. "I will stay in the background." Maya left, and Luke took a deep breath. He followed the others toward the main hall. The hall was vast. A ceiling rose high above, shaped like overlapping waves. Alien officials stood in long rows. They were tall, with pale skin and eyes that reflected light like glass. Their clothing flowed like water, marked with symbols Luke did not understand. Humans stood together on one side. They looked small in comparison. Then the room grew silent. The Queen entered. Alara walked with slow, steady steps. She wore a simple crown made of crystal lines, not gold or jewels. Her face was calm, but her eyes held great weight. When she sat on her throne, it felt as if the room itself settled. Luke did not know why, but the moment he saw her, his hands began to shake. He lowered his head, hoping no one noticed. The meeting began with formal words. Agreements, borders, trade, and peace were discussed. Luke listened but did not fully hear the words. His thoughts kept drifting. Once, when the Queen spoke, her voice reached him clearly. It was smooth and deep, yet gentle. The sound stirred something inside him, like a memory trying to wake. Without meaning to, Luke lifted his head. His eyes met the Queen's. For a brief moment, time seemed to slow. Queen Alara froze. The hall went quiet again, not because of rules, but because something felt wrong. The Queen stared at Luke. Her calm expression broke just slightly. Her eyes widened, then narrowed, as if she was trying to see through him. Luke felt his heart race. He quickly looked down. He told himself it was nothing. He was just a human among many. But the Queen did not look away. One of the alien advisors leaned close to her and whispered something. She did not respond. Instead, she raised one hand. "Bring the human engineer forward," she said. The words echoed across the hall. Luke felt a cold wave pass through him. Maya turned toward him in shock.
"What did you do?"
she whispered.
"Nothing," Luke said quietly.
"I swear." Guards approached him. They were tall and silent. They did not touch him, but their presence was heavy. Luke walked forward, every step feeling unreal. He stopped several steps away from the throne and bowed, as he had been taught. "Luke Carter, human engineer," he said. The Queen studied his face carefully. Her gaze moved slowly, as if measuring every detail. "How old are you?" she asked.
30, Luke answered. Where were you born?
"On Earth," he said, "in a small town in Ohio." The Queen's fingers tightened slightly on the arm of her throne. "Were you raised by your birth parents?" "No," Luke said. "I was adopted when I was young. I never knew my real parents." A quiet murmur moved through the alien court. The Queen leaned forward. "Do you remember anything from before your adoption?" Luke hesitated. "Only strange dreams. Lights, voices, nothing clear." The Queen closed her eyes for a moment. When she opened them, her calm mask was back in place, but something deep behind it had changed. "You will meet with me privately after this session," she said. The hall erupted into whispers. Maya looked pale. The human leader began to speak, but the Queen raised her hand again. "This is not a request," she said. "This is my command." The meeting continued, but Luke barely noticed it. His mind was spinning. He felt fear, but also a strange pull, like he was being drawn toward a truth he had avoided all his life. When the meeting ended, Luke was escorted through halls he had not seen before. The walls here were darker, the lights softer. Symbols glowed faintly along the floor. He entered a quiet chamber filled with floating lights. The air smelled clean and cool. The Queen was already there. She stood near a table looking at a wide window that showed the planet below. From this height, the alien world looked peaceful. "You may speak freely here," Elora said without turning. "There are no listeners." Luke swallowed. "Yes, Your Majesty." She turned slowly and faced him again. "Tell me, Luke Carter, have you ever felt that you did not belong on Earth?" The question hit him harder than he expected. He nodded. "Yes. All my life, have you ever felt drawn to the stars?" "Yes. Have you ever felt that you lost something important, even though you could not remember what it was?" Luke's voice shook. "Yes." The Queen's eyes shone slightly, as if holding back emotion. "You carry something with you," she said. "Something from your childhood." Luke frowned. "How do you know that?" "You would not be here otherwise," she said softly. After a moment, Luke reached into his jacket. His fingers touched a small worn object. He pulled it out. It was an old photograph. The image was faded. It showed a small boy standing in front of strange stone shapes. The sky behind him was not quite right. As a child, Luke had always thought it was just a strange place on Earth. "This was taken before I was adopted," Luke said. "I don't know where it was taken." "My parents found it with me." The Queen did not take the photo yet. She stared at it from a distance. Her breathing slowed. "No way," she whispered. Luke looked up, confused. Is something wrong? The Queen stepped closer. Her hand trembled as she finally took the photo. "Is that you?" she said quietly. "Yes," Luke answered. "That's me." Her eyes filled with disbelief. "This cannot be possible," she said. "This child stood in the royal sanctuary. No human has ever been there." Luke felt his head spin.
What do you mean?
The Queen looked at him no longer as a ruler, but as someone seeing a ghost from the past. "This meeting is not over, Luke Carter," she said. "It has only just begun." And somewhere deep inside him, something finally began to wake. Luke sat in the quiet chamber, still holding the old photograph. Queen Elora stood across from him, staring at the image as if trying to remember a dream. The soft lights around them glowed faintly, casting long shadows on the walls. For a moment the room felt suspended in time. It was as if nothing else in the galaxy existed except the boy in the photo and the Queen who recognized him. "Where did this come from?" Elora asked finally, her voice soft but urgent. She did not look angry. She looked shocked, confused, and a little afraid. I found it in my old box at home," Luke said slowly. "I have had it since I was a kid. My adoptive parents gave it to me. They never knew where it came from." Elora took a step closer. Her eyes studied him carefully, moving from his face to the photograph and back again. "The child in this image, it is from the royal sanctuary. No human has ever been there." Luke frowned. I don't understand. Why would a human be in an alien royal sanctuary? The queen hesitated. She seemed unsure how much to tell him. Finally, she spoke. Many years ago, our empire was at war. Enemies threatened the royal family. A child was hidden on a distant world for protection. The child was me. She stopped and swallowed, as if saying it out loud made it real. And now, looking at you, I see what I hoped would never happen. You survived. Luke's mouth went dry. You mean I'm your child? Elora nodded slowly. Yes. We sent you to a human world to keep you safe. Your memories were sealed so you would not remember your past. It was the only way to protect you and the Empire. Luke leaned back, trying to process the words. The air felt heavy. The lights seemed to dim. He had grown up thinking he was a normal human. Now, everything he knew about himself was changing. So all my life I was not just human? He asked.
I was royal. Elara's eyes softened. You are both.
Human and alien. Both parts are real. Both make you who you are. He closed his eyes, trying to picture himself as a child in a place he could not remember. Strange flashes appeared in his mind. A crystal room, soft glowing lights, a sense of safety, and voices speaking a language he did not know, but somehow understood. Why didn't anyone tell me? He asked, opening his eyes. Why hide me?
Your life on Earth was the safest place for you, Elara said.
We could not risk our enemies finding you. Humans would raise you without knowledge of your past. Your safety came first. Luke looked down at the photo again. The small boy in the picture seemed so far away, yet so familiar. He touched the edge of the paper. And now you found me. After all these years. Elora nodded. I have searched for you for decades. I thought you were lost forever. I could not believe my eyes when I saw you today. Luke took a deep breath. The words were sinking in slowly. He had always felt different from other humans. Always felt a connection to the stars, to places he did not know. Now it made sense. Everything he thought was strange about himself had a reason. He was part of something bigger. So what happens now? He asked. His voice was small, almost uncertain. Elara stepped closer, placing a gentle hand on the table between them. Now we begin to understand each other. You must learn your past, your heritage, and your role. And we must do this carefully. Not everyone will accept you. Luke nodded slowly. Fear mixed with excitement. For the first time in his life, he felt like he belonged somewhere, even if that place was not entirely human. Over the next few hours, Elara showed him holographic images of the royal sanctuary, the empire, and his early life. She explained the symbols he had seen in the photograph. Each detail brought a memory to the surface. Small flashes of light, feelings of warmth, and voices calling his name.
It is strange, Luke said at one point.
I remember feeling like I was supposed to be somewhere else, even as a child, but I thought it was just imagination.
It was not imagination,
Elora said.
It was your memory, hidden to protect you. She paused. You have the heart of a human, the mind of an alien royal. This makes you unique, and it makes you important for both our worlds. Luke swallowed hard. The weight of her words pressed on him. He had never thought of himself as important. On Earth, he had been ordinary, unnoticed. Now, he was not just important, he was essential. And the Empire? He asked. Will they accept me? Elara looked away for a moment, her expression serious. Some will resist. Some will see you as an outsider. Others may fear you. You must prove yourself, not just with your birthright, but with your actions. Humans have strengths we admire. Courage, compassion, adaptability. These will serve you well. Luke nodded again, determination building inside him. For the first time he understood that his human life had not been wasted. Every lesson, every experience had prepared him for this moment. And my life on Earth? He asked quietly. Does it matter? Everything matters, Elara said. It shaped you. The human part of you is your strength. Without it, you would not survive here. It would not be who you are. Luke leaned back and looked at the photo one more time. The small boy seemed to be smiling at him. For the first time, he understood that the boy was not lost. He had been waiting for this moment all his life. "So, what do we do first?" he asked. Elara smiled faintly. "First, we teach you to remember. Slowly, safely. Then we prepare for the world outside this chamber. The galaxy must know you are alive, but we must be careful. Enemies will use your human side against you if we are not smart." Luke felt a shiver run down his spine. Enemies? Humans? Aliens? He realized that his life would never be ordinary again. The quiet, safe life on Earth was gone. He had been thrust into a world of politics, power, and secrets. Yet, strangely, he did not feel afraid. He felt ready. He had spent 30 years living as a human, learning resilience, problem-solving, and patience. These things would help him survive here. "I want to learn," he said. "I want to know everything. My past, my role, everything." Elara nodded. "You must. And soon. The Empire will meet you, and the humans must understand as well." This is only the beginning. She moved to a small console and activated a projection of a star map. It showed the Empire's planets, colonies, and trade routes. Luke studied it carefully. Each light and symbol felt familiar. He could not explain why, but the map seemed almost like home. "This," Elara said, "is your world in a sense, and Earth is yours as well. You are the bridge between our species. Your experiences as a human will help our Empire see what humans are capable of." Luke nodded slowly. The weight of responsibility was heavy, but he welcomed it. For the first time, he felt that all his life on Earth had a purpose. "We will begin your training tomorrow," Elara said. "For now, rest. The journey ahead is long." Luke put the photo back in his jacket. He looked at the Queen one last time before leaving the chamber. She stood there watching him with a mix of hope and worry. As he walked through the glowing corridors, Luke realized that his life had changed forever. He was not just human, and he was not just alien. He was both, and that made him stronger than either world alone. The stars outside the window called to him once more. Only now he understood that they were calling him home. He took a deep breath. Tomorrow, everything would begin. And Luke felt ready. Luke woke early. The next day, the soft glow of the alien sun filled his room. He had slept in quarters provided for him by the Queen. They were simple but comfortable, with smooth walls and gentle light. He felt a mix of excitement and fear. Today he would start learning about the past he had never known. Queen Elara was waiting for him in the training room. She greeted him with a calm nod. "Good morning, Luke. We have much to do." Luke followed her into a large hall. The walls were lined with holographic images. Some showed alien cities. Others showed star systems. Luke stopped at a projection of the royal sanctuary. He remembered the photograph, and now he could see the full place. Towers of crystal, soft glowing paths, and pools of light stretched across the room. It was more magnificent than anything he could have imagined. "This is where you were hidden as a child," Elara said. "It was a place of safety and learning. You were taught to survive and grow, even without memories of us." Luke touched the projection. He could feel a strange connection. It was like a memory just out of reach. "I remember it," he said quietly. "But it is blurry." "Good," Elara said. "Your memories are waking. We will help them return. Carefully, slowly. You must not be overwhelmed." She moved to another projection showing alien soldiers. "These were your people. You were trained with them, not as a human, but as one of us. You learned many things that will help you now."
Luke watched the images.
Soldiers moving with precision, learning skills he had never been told about. He felt pride mixed with sadness. This had been his life once, and he did not know it. Why did they hide me on Earth? He asked. Why not keep me here? Our enemies were ruthless, Elara said. They would have killed you to end the royal line. Hiding you on Earth was the only way. Humans were unknown to them. They would not have looked there. Luke nodded slowly. The pieces of his life were fitting together. Every strange dream, every feeling of not belonging now made sense. He had survived, and now he was back where he belonged. Elara motioned for him to follow. She led him to a room filled with training equipment. Some were familiar tools, some were alien devices. You must train your body and mind, she said. You are not just human. You are both, and both must be strong. The first exercise was simple. Luke moved through alien drills, testing his reflexes and agility. At first, he struggled. His human body was not used to the precision required. But soon, he began to adapt. His instincts, shaped by years on Earth, helped him in ways the aliens did not expect. He was slower in strength, but faster in thinking, quicker at finding solutions. Humans are clever, Elara said, observing him. They use their minds more than strength. This is why you survived. Luke smiled slightly. He felt pride in being human. It was part of him, not a weakness. After training, Elara led him to a hall filled with books and holographic records. Your education was unusual, she said. We taught you languages, history, and science, but you did not remember it. Now we restore it. Luke spent hours absorbing knowledge. He learned about the Empire, its wars, its allies, and its enemies. He learned the traditions of the royal family, the laws of the stars, and the responsibilities he carried. As the day passed, fragments of his childhood returned. He remembered laughter, a warm room, a teacher who guided him, and the sensation of floating in light. Memories were not complete, but they were enough to guide him. You are learning quickly, Elara said. Your human upbringing gave you adaptability. You can connect ideas faster than most of my people. This is rare and valuable. Luke felt both pride and unease. He was learning he was more capable than he had ever imagined. But with capability came responsibility. He was no longer just a human engineer. He was a bridge between two worlds. As evening approached, Elara brought him to a balcony overlooking the city. Lights glowed softly in the alien night. Ships moved in silent patterns above, and distant stars sparkled. Luke felt a sense of awe. This was his world, too, in a way he had never known. You may feel overwhelmed, Elara said. But remember, you are not alone. I am here, and the Empire watches over you. Soon, others will meet you, and you will see that humans and aliens can work together. Luke nodded. He looked at the stars and felt the pull of both worlds. Earth had given him strength, resilience, and compassion. The Empire gave him purpose, heritage, and knowledge. Together they made him more than either alone. I want to do my best, he said, for both worlds.
Elara smiled. Good.
That is what makes you human. That is what makes you royal. And that is why you survived. They spent the next days going deeper into his memories and training. Luke learned alien etiquette, history, and strategy. He practiced in holographic simulations of battle and diplomacy. Each session tested his mind and body. He discovered he could handle situations others could not. One afternoon, Elara brought him to a room filled with ancient artifacts. These belong to your family, she said. They hold knowledge and power. Understanding them will help you connect with your past. Luke studied the objects carefully. A small crystal, a carved rod, and a pendant caught his eye. He picked up the pendant. It felt warm in his hand. The moment he touched it, a memory flashed in his mind. A child standing in a glowing room. Someone whispering his name. He gasped. You remember, Elara said softly. A little. More will come. Luke held the pendant tightly. Each artifact, each memory, made him stronger. He realized that he had been trained not just as a human, but as a leader. Prepared for a role he did not yet understand. This is strange, he said. I feel like I always knew I was meant for something bigger. Now I see why. Alara nodded. You survived, and your human life made you stronger. You are clever, brave, and compassionate. These qualities will help you guide both humans and aliens. Days turned into weeks. Luke's skills grew. His memories returned in fragments. He began to see himself not as a human who had been lost, but as someone with a purpose. The Empire started to feel like home. One evening, he trained late alone in the hall. He moved through the drills with precision. For the first time, he felt completely confident. He was not just surviving, he was learning to thrive. Elara watched from the balcony. She knew the road ahead would not be easy. Some in the Empire would resist, some would fear him. But she also knew that Luke's human traits, adaptability, empathy, courage, would help him succeed where others might fail. Humans are remarkable, she whispered. And so are you, Luke Carter. Luke stopped and looked out at the stars. He felt the pull of both worlds stronger than ever. He was human, alien, royal, and ordinary all at once. And he understood that this was his strength. Tomorrow, he would begin meeting the Council. The galaxy would see him, and he would have to prove that he belonged. But tonight, he allowed himself a moment of peace. He was ready to remember, ready to learn, and ready to be the bridge between two worlds. He held the crystal pendant tightly in his hand. It was a piece of his past and a key to his future. He smiled. The journey had only just begun, and he finally felt he could face it. Luke Carter was no longer just a human lost in space. He was awakening, and the galaxy would soon know his name.
Luke woke to the soft light of the alien sun filtering through the walls of his quarters. He stretched and felt a strange mix of excitement and nervousness.
Today was different. Today he would meet more of the Empire. The Council had been summoned to see him, and he had to show that he belonged, not just as a human, not just as a lost child, but as someone who could bridge two worlds. Queen Alara waited for him in the training hall. Her calm presence gave him courage. Are you ready? She asked. Yes, Luke said, trying to steady his voice. I think so. Good. Then we begin. They walked through long corridors toward the council chamber. Luke noticed details he had never seen before. Walls that seemed alive with light, floors that changed color underfoot, and soft music that shifted with their movement. It was beautiful, but Luke did not have time to be distracted. The council waited, and he had to prove himself. The chamber was enormous. Alien leaders from all over the Empire were seated in circular rows. Some had scales, some had smooth skin. Others had long flowing hair. Their eyes glowed in different colors. Luke felt small. He was just one human among many powerful beings. Queen Alara led him to the center. This is Luke Carter, she said. He is alive. He is part of the royal line, and he will help us guide the Empire into the future. Murmurs filled the chamber. Some aliens looked shocked. Others looked skeptical. Luke took a deep breath. He had prepared for this moment. I am honored to meet you all, Luke said, his voice steady. I know my life has been unusual. I was raised on Earth, not here. But I have learned, I have trained, and I am ready to serve both humans and aliens. Some council members shifted in their seats. A few whispered to one another. Clearly, not everyone believed him. One alien, a tall figure with silver eyes, stood. How can we trust a human who has been raised away from us? You do not know our ways, our traditions. What makes you worthy of standing here? Luke met the alien's gaze. Because I know both worlds. I know humans and I know your people. I have learned your history, your ways, and your needs. And I bring something rare, the perspective of someone who has lived as a human. We can use that to work together, not fight.
A murmur of approval came from some seats.
The Queen nodded slightly. Luke felt a surge of confidence. His human upbringing, the years he had spent learning patience, observation, and problem-solving were helping him now.
Very well, said another council member, an older being with deep green eyes.
Then show us. Show us your understanding. Luke took a deep breath. He moved to a holographic display in the center of the chamber. He began to explain trade routes, alliances, and potential conflicts using both human and alien logic. He pointed out ways humans could help the Empire, and ways the Empire could support humans. As he spoke, the council members leaned forward. They were listening. They asked questions, some sharp, some testing him. Luke answered each one carefully, blending strategy with empathy. He could see surprise in their eyes. They had expected hesitation, but he responded with clarity and confidence. After hours of discussion, the mood in the room began to change. Skepticism shifted to curiosity. Curiosity shifted to respect. Luke could feel it. He was making a difference. Humans had taught him patience and problem-solving. Alien training had taught him strategy and diplomacy. Together, it made him stronger than many who had been born in the Empire. Queen Alara watched quietly from her seat. She saw how humans had shaped him, how adaptable and courageous he had become. She knew now that sending him to Earth had been the right choice. The human way of life had strengthened him, prepared him for this moment. As the council meeting ended, a younger alien approached Luke. Her eyes were wide with interest.
"I was wrong about you," she said. "You are not just a human."
"You have the heart of our people too, perhaps even stronger than many born here." Luke smiled. "Thank you. I only want to help both of our worlds." The council dispersed, and Queen Alara took Luke aside. "You did well. Most would have struggled. But you showed them that humans are not weak."
"You showed them that being human can be a strength."
Luke felt proud, but he also knew the road ahead was long. Some would still resist him. Some would fear his human side. But for the first time, he felt he could handle it. He had survived Earth, survived being lost, and survived alien training. He could survive this. Over the next days, Luke worked closely with Alara and the Council. He helped plan trade agreements, mediate disputes, and organize defenses. Everywhere he went, humans who visited the Empire were surprised at how quickly he understood alien ways, and aliens were surprised at how wisely he used human thinking. He also began to meet more humans in the Empire. Some had been diplomats, engineers, or explorers. They were curious about him, some skeptical, some admiring. Luke treated them all with respect. He shared what he had learned, and slowly, humans and aliens began to trust him as a bridge between worlds. One evening, as he studied a map of the Empire's borders, Alara entered quietly. She stood behind him and watched him work. "You have changed more than I expected," she said. "The Council trusts you. The humans trust you. Soon, the galaxy will know your name." Luke did not look up. "I never thought I would be important. But now I see that everything I lived through prepared me for this." "It did," Alara said. "Humans have strengths we cannot match. Courage, compassion, creativity. You are living proof." He smiled faintly. "Then I will use them." The next morning a message arrived. Rival factions, enemies of the Empire, had learned that the lost heir was alive. They began to make moves, planning attacks and political maneuvers. Luke knew that his human instincts for strategy and quick thinking would be tested. He gathered the council and began planning defenses, using both human ingenuity and alien tactics. For the first time, he felt the full weight of responsibility, not just for himself, not just for the Queen, but for two worlds. Humans and aliens alike were counting on him. Days passed in careful preparation. Luke oversaw simulations of battle, negotiations, and trade disruptions. He worked tirelessly, often late into the alien night. Sometimes he felt tired, sometimes afraid. But he reminded himself that humans had survived harsh worlds, wars, and disasters. He could survive this too. Queen Alara often watched him from afar. She could see how humans had shaped him. He did not panic under pressure. He solved problems quickly. He cared about people, not just power. These were qualities many alien leaders lacked. She knew that sending him to Earth had saved him. And now it was saving the Empire. Finally, after weeks of preparation, the first real challenge arrived. A rival faction tried to blockade trade routes near the human colonies. The council was nervous. Alien leaders wanted to respond with force. Luke suggested a careful strategy, using negotiation, diversion, and timing rather than just weapons. The council was skeptical. But Luke's human reasoning, combined with his alien knowledge, proved effective. The rival faction withdrew, impressed by the cleverness of the human-raised heir. Whispers of admiration spread through the Empire. Luke had not just survived the meeting. He had shown that humans could be a force in the galaxy. That evening, Queen Ilada met him on the balcony overlooking the city. "You have done well," she said. "The council respects you. The humans respect you. You are becoming a symbol of what we can achieve together." Luke looked at the stars. He felt pride, but also a deep sense of responsibility. His life on Earth had prepared him for this moment. His training in the Empire had shaped him further. He was not just human, not just alien. He was both, and that was his strength. "There is more to come," Alara said. "Many challenges await, but I know you can face them." Luke nodded. "I will, for both worlds." And as he looked at the stars, he realized that the galaxy was no longer just a place to live. It was a place he could shape, guide, and protect. Humans had given him courage, aliens had given him knowledge, and now he would combine them to build a future both species could share. He smiled faintly. The journey was far from over. Enemies still lurked, challenges waited, and the council had many doubts. But Luke knew one thing. He was ready, and together with Queen Alara, he could lead both worlds into a new era. For the first time, he felt completely alive. Luke woke to the soft light of the alien sun, just like every morning. But today felt different. Today he would step fully into the world he had been hidden from as a child. He had trained, learned, and proved himself to the council and the queen. Now it was time to show the galaxy that he belonged, not as a human visitor, not as a child lost, but as someone who could unite two worlds. Queen Alara met him in the hall. Her calm presence was reassuring, but her eyes showed pride. "Are you ready?" she asked. Luke nodded. "I think I am." She led him through the corridors to the Grand Assembly Hall. This hall was the largest Luke had ever seen. It held representatives from every planet in the Empire and even ambassadors from human colonies. The ceilings were high, filled with soft glowing lights that shifted like stars. The walls had images of past leaders, battles, and treaties. Luke felt a sense of history pressing around him. He was now a part of it. Alara stopped at the entrance. "This is your moment," she said. "Speak with honesty, with courage, and with your heart. The galaxy will see you as you truly are." Luke took a deep breath and walked in. The room fell quiet. Hundreds of eyes watched him, some filled with curiosity, some with doubt, some with fear. He felt a flicker of nerves, but he remembered everything he had learned. He had survived being lost, trained in alien ways, and faced councils that doubted him. He could face this. He raised his voice so all could hear. "I am Luke Carter. I was raised on Earth, away from this empire. For many years I did not know my past or where I belonged. Today I stand here not just as a human, but as someone connected to both worlds. My life on Earth has taught me courage, patience, and compassion. These are strengths, not weaknesses. I am ready to serve both humans and aliens and to build a future where we work together." Whispers moved through the assembly. Some representatives shifted uncomfortably. A few looked skeptical. Luke kept speaking. "Our worlds have much to share. Humans can offer creativity and flexibility. Aliens offer wisdom and tradition. Together, we can achieve more than either alone. We can protect our people, grow our civilizations, and create peace across the stars. I am not here to replace anyone. I am here to show that humans and aliens can stand together and that both can learn from each other." Silence followed. Luke held his ground. Then, slowly, a few representatives nodded. One, a tall alien with gold eyes, stood and said, Perhaps this human is not just an outsider. Perhaps he truly understands both sides. Let us listen further. Others began to speak, asking questions, testing him. Luke answered carefully, blending strategy with empathy. He did not rush. He explained trade routes, ways to improve alliances, and methods to protect vulnerable planets. Each answer showed not just intelligence, but human creativity. He suggested solutions that combined alien wisdom with human adaptability. By the end of the assembly, the mood had shifted. Doubt turned into respect. Curiosity became trust. Luke could feel it. He had not only survived this test, he had excelled. Humans and aliens alike began to see him as a bridge, someone who could guide them together. Queen Elora stepped forward. Her eyes shone with pride. The Empire sees now what I have always known. This human is more than a visitor. He is one of us, and he carries the strength of both worlds. Luke felt a warmth in his chest. The words were not just praise, they were recognition. He had finally found a place where he truly belonged. After the assembly, Luke worked closely with Elara to solidify new alliances. He met human ambassadors and alien leaders, helping them understand each other. Sometimes it was difficult. Humans found alien customs strange. Aliens found human habits strange. But Luke's calm guidance helped both sides see the value in cooperation. One evening, he walked with Elara to a balcony overlooking the city. The lights of alien ships and buildings glowed softly below. The stars stretched infinitely above. "You have done well," Elara said. "The Council respects you. Humans respect you. The galaxy will follow your example." Luke looked out at the horizon. "I never thought I could make a difference, but now I see that everything I experienced, Earth, being hidden, training, prepared me for this. I am ready for what comes next." Elara smiled. "You are both human and royal. That makes you strong in ways no one expected. Your life has shown that humans are more than their limits, and now the galaxy will see it too." In the weeks that followed, Luke continued to act as a bridge. Trade flourished between humans and aliens. Colonies shared knowledge and technology. Conflicts that seemed impossible to solve were handled with compromise and wisdom. Luke used lessons from Earth: creativity, problem-solving, and empathy, combined with his alien training to guide decisions that benefited both worlds. One day, a rival faction, which had been planning to attack the Empire, sent an envoy to negotiate. They expected threats, intimidation, or force. Instead, they found Luke calm, fair, and clever. He offered solutions that saved face for both sides, avoided conflict, and secured trade agreements. The rivals left impressed, realizing that the human-raised heir was someone who could not be underestimated. Word of Luke's abilities spread quickly. Humans began to see him as a hero of the stars. Aliens began to respect his wisdom. The Empire began to trust that cooperation with humans could strengthen their future. And Queen Elara knew that the choice to send him to Earth had saved not only her child, but the Empire itself. Luke often took moments to reflect. He held the old photograph in his hand, the one that had started it all. The small boy in the picture seemed to smile at him. He realized that the boy had never been lost. He had been waiting for this moment, waiting to show both worlds the value of courage, love, and understanding. He thought of Earth, too. The people who raised him, the life he had known. It had shaped him. Without it, he would not have survived. Without it, he could not have led. He understood now that being human had given him strength, compassion, and creativity that no alien training alone could have provided. Queen Elara often watched him in silence. She saw how humans had shaped him, how they had made him resilient, clever, and brave. She realized that the galaxy itself was changing. A human child, raised on Earth and hidden for safety, had become a symbol of unity and hope. One evening as they watched the sunset over alien skies, Luke turned to Elara. "I understand now why I was sent away. It was not just for my safety. It was to prepare me for this, for both worlds. And I am ready to do my part." Elara nodded, her eyes glistening.
You have fulfilled what we hoped for. Luke Carter.
You are more than human, more than alien. You are the bridge, the proof that our worlds can work together. And you will guide the future. The stars stretched endlessly above them, glowing softly in the alien night. Luke felt a sense of peace he had never known. He had found his past, embraced his present, and chosen his future. He was no longer lost. He was home, not just on one world, but in the hearts of both humans and aliens who trusted him. As the galaxy moved forward, Luke stood ready. Enemies might come, challenges would arise, but he had learned that courage, compassion, and clever thinking could overcome almost anything. He had survived Earth, hidden worlds, alien training, and council trials. Now he could face the galaxy itself. He smiled, holding the old photograph close. The small boy had been waiting for this moment. Now Luke was the man ready to shape the stars, unite two peoples, and lead the galaxy toward a future where humans and aliens could walk together, strong and equal. Queen Alara placed a hand on his shoulder. "The galaxy will remember this day," she said. "And they will remember you, Luke Carter, as the one who showed that being human is not a weakness, but a power." Luke looked up at the stars. For the first time, he felt completely free. He was human. He was royal. He was everything he was meant to be. And the galaxy had finally seen the true value of a human life, shaped by love, courage, and destiny. And with that, Luke stepped forward, ready to face the universe, not as a lost boy, not as a hidden heir, but as a human who had shown the galaxy what humans could truly be.